So, for the last 5 years or so, I've been learning to let go of people who have been potentially causing me more harm than good. Letting go of certain people that are potentially causing me more harm than good, and I let two people go towards the end of this year that were causing me more harm than good as well. And actually, a lot of people attached to those people are associated with those people as well. But there were two people in particular that were causing me more harm than good that were in my atmosphere that I would considered influences or crushes or etc. that were causing me more harm than good. And could be looked at as a multiple amount of ways, but there was two in particular people that were more influential than others that were causing me more harm than good. And a lot of it still had to do with the critical race theory, and a lot of it still had to do with the changes and different things I was trying to make in my life when it came to the critical race theory and what I really truly believed and what I truly didn't believe in, and trying to really accept what I truly believe in, even if others didn't accept what I believed in and didn't had an issue with what I believed in, and etc. That I would go forward, I would speak my truths, and I would speak my mind about how I feel about politics and the world and my views and how I feel about life and etc. Um, you know, I mean, I was always for the LGBT community, but some people might question whether I could be for the LGBT community because I don't really believe too much in the transgenderism. I don't believe in transgenderism. I don't believe in any being transgender. I don't believe in changing your sex or chopping off your body parts to turn into another sex to be a sex that you were, obviously not born to be. Um, so I have some issues with transgenderism and stuff like that, and I know my friend Greg does too. Greg's kind of that guy that's like says, oh, if you're a dude and you just like dudes, that's great. But Greg and I both agree that we just don't really get the whole transgenderism thing, or why you got to cut your body parts off or change your your formality of your body to just feel like you need to be accepted. That's where things get gruesome and stuff like that. And then they wanted to do it to children. I wanted to have children kind of embrace these ways or these things of what they call the LGBT community and society, that they wanted to kind of put these things on children, which I thought was very wrong and stuff like that too, which also changed my opinion on different things when it came to the LGBT community and stuff. And I mean, I'm still considered an LGBT community person. I mean, I'm still bi, which my bisexuality basically is the fact that I like women. I also like men. I like men. I don't like feminine men. I don't like transgender men. I like men. And it depends. It depends on if the person's attractive to me or not, because not everybody is going to be attractive to you. I've learned that too. Is like I find people attractive, and it's very hard because those people don't find me attractive or etc. back, and it's just like you're stuck once you say, "Oh, I find you attractive," and you don't, you can't give it the proper time, or it just doesn't work out because people don't feel the same way. But um, finding somebody who likes you back and thinks you're also attractive is kind of a difficult thing to do. Or find somebody that's, remotely mutual that you would really be happy with is kind of a difficult thing. Because these days, people are trying to, demasculate the men in society. People are trying to demasculate the men in society and kind of demasculate, what it is to be a man in today's society, and be a provider and stuff, because people are calling it toxic masculinity and all this other stuff that really is kind of screwing up and hurting society. So um but yeah, I mean, I let go of two very prominent people. They were both Libras, and one was one of my biggest problems, and kind of that was involved with a lot of stuff, and all these other people who got involved too when it came to the critical race theory I was getting involved with and the cultural stuff I was getting involved with. but they came in on a different perspective and a whole different issue. There was some stuff here in town too that with the cultural stuff I try to get involved with too, but there's a lot of underhand personal issues and things that have happened, throughout life and society here in town and stuff that those people basically have personal issues with me that they're putting into they're putting into things like their politics and things because they want to blackmail me with their politics and etc. when there were already personal issues there, which they kind of wanted to blackmail me and have no respect for me in the first place. So they're trying to do it with their politics now too to make me look like a bad person or etc. When it comes to their leftist views, their leftist liberal views, it's like you agree with us, or we're going to find a way to discredit you. We're going to find a way to take your whole career. We're going to find a way to discredit and drop dirt on your name or threaten you or make you feel unsafe because we feel unsafe because you want to vote for Trump and we feel, demasculated or feminized or, or whatever they feel that would make them feel kind of like, they're at jeopardy or at a loss, Um, I don't know. But regardless, I let go of two Libras. I let go of two Libras and I'm adjusting. I'm adjusting better than I thought I would. But I mean, I know in the end too is that the Libra woman that I really wanted, I wanted her. I can't say. I mean, I wanted to love her. Was it love in return? No, it wasn't love in return. I wanted to love her. I wanted to show her love. I wanted to have her in my life and embrace a connection. But unfortunately, critical race theory played a big part in the reasons why we were not getting along, or the reasons why me and her friends were not getting along, or some people in her circle with me, because there were a lot of issues over critical race theory and the fact that people saw skin color more than they would see a person. They saw more skin color. They wanted to create more issues over skin color and stuff like that, other than acknowledging me as a person. So that's basically what had happened, and that they kind of discredited me, and then that person I don't think was ever going to take me seriously or ever really kind of commit to me in a way that I thought would be serious. But I was trying to be serious. I was trying to be serious the whole time. I was trying to be serious the whole time that I kind of let that situation kind of take some front and center situations and seats in my life, and it kind of took away from me as an artist. It kind of took away from me as a writer, because in some cases the critical race theory, and when it came to people here in town and people in like Hartford, where this person's like in Hartford and stuff like that between Hartford and Torrington, Connecticut, there were some things that were playing in critical race theory and stuff and etc. that wanted to discredit me and etc. that really played into a lot of drama and stuff that really kind of took away from me and stuff, and really kind of, it took away from a lot. It took away from, I could never really truly value myself. I could never really truly value myself if I couldn't fully love myself or be put in a position to love myself, And that's what critical race theory does. You can't love you're taught to not love yourself as a white person because you obviously had, supposedly, if they were alive or around for that situation, your ancestors were the people that enslaved, such and such, and all that wonderful jazz, because we're being blamed for the wrongdoings of our ancestors when we weren't alive or born yet to even witness such things and etc. So I think that's total bullshit, and I think that's just a total cop out, because people want to have reparations, or people want to get free money or free government handouts and shit like that, kind of like my buddy Greg. My buddy Greg is kind of conservative and all, but when it comes to his reasonings, he wants to vote for people because he wants a stimulus check, and he's happily retired and stuff like that, so he doesn't have to go back to work. But he kind of like, oh, I would like a stimulus check, but stimulus check is just a government handout. It really is just a government handout. People get and shit that people got to live off of, and it helps you depend more on the government. Some people are disabled. Obviously some people are retired and elderly, and then they can't work, and they're on they're on pensions and social security, and then there's some people like myself who are disabled and have some disabilities, and had issues on working and stuff like that, where they couldn't go back to work and etc. But I'm for the most part, um, I'm I'm just trying to make it by and live my life and do what I gotta do. Um, but people are just like, you're gonna be a traitor. You're a race traitor. Unfortunately, if I spoke my mind sooner, it would have been the same old thing. And the thing is, I was afraid to speak my mind sooner because everybody was kind of jumping down my throat, creating these situations that made me feel very unsafe. Which the left actually does. The left will actually threaten you or try to discredit you in ways that will make you feel unsafe. They say, oh, we feel unsafe, but yet they're the ones throwing out the threats or the situations where you feel unsafe or you have to feel questionable whether you can come out and just speak your mind or say what you have to say. Which I kind of regret not doing it sooner because I would have been on a path of healing and a path of growth and healing and stuff a lot sooner. So I regret not doing it sooner and not speaking my mind and possibly just losing these friendships and all this stuff. But things kind of went on and things kind of happened where, I don't want to say I was leading people on or nothing like that because I didn't mean to lead people on. I mean, I still really wanted to work with the publishers and people that I wanted to work with and still wanted to have connections in the black community because even though I am conservative, even though I voted for Trump, I still like black women and still I'm very much attracted to black women and want relationships with black women in my life. But some people are kind of against that notion, especially the people who feel want to be more liberal or conservative. That why would they ever be friends with a Trump supporter? And they're doing a lot of whining. The liberals are doing a lot of whining. They're doing a lot of threatening. They're doing a lot of bullshit shit that is really coming back. Is really going to come back to haunt them and stuff like that in society when it comes to people's safety and etc. People feeling safe and possibly having the cops involved or worse. Um, we realized all along who wasn't who wasn't the safe party. We realized who wasn't the safe party all along. People say, oh, the right is not the safe party. The right is not the safe party, but neither are the liberals. Neither are the liberals. So I think the liberals are far worse because they whine like a bunch of drama and stuff because they lost to Trump. But I mean, the thing is, I wasn't always a conservative. I used to look down on conservatism, especially because I've had issues with my mother and issues with certain things that I'm trying to just heal on my end for my own being. Even though I might not really have issues, healed or fixed with my mother per se, there's certain things on my end and my soul that I'm trying to heal on my end that are trying to heal certain wounds and things that are healing connections and things for me. Um, my buddy Greg is conservative and he's gay, so me and him have talked about the conservatism and what it means to be a gay conservative person. My therapist seems to think that I shouldn't, give up on the fact that I'm bi. I can still be conservative and bi. It's like, just how do you make the conservatism work for you? How do you make the conservatism work for you and your views, and how you view your views to see if being bisexual still works with your conservatism or not. Which is basically what I had been told. Um, which I'm still going to identify as a bisexual conservative because it's true. I mean, I'm still interested in men. I'm still interested in women. Um, I would like a relationship more with a woman though than I would with a man. Although I've had relationships with men, and some relationships with men have went better than the ones with women. So, beggars can't be choosers. Everything happens for a reason. But it doesn't stop the fact that I'm still hopeful to be with a woman or still have some type of relationship with a woman. But my female relationships are so rocky and stuff, and that has to do with my upbringing. That has to do with my family. That has to do with a lot of different things that made me the person that I am today. Of my personal experiences, that I think in some cases that I've had to learn a lot about women, and I've had to learn a lot about different things. Kind of on my own, without a father figure, without a mother figure, without really much of really support to really grasp these things. And I found myself in some fucked up situations in the past that I really kind of regret. I regret some really fucked up situations I found myself in that I've kind of had to deal with and etc. and kind of heal from. So, um, some of them people say was my own doing, but I don't think it was totally my own doing. I was kind of out of my mind and psychotic and um really shouldn't have gotten involved with some of the things that I did and some of the people that I did. But I was psychotic. I didn't care. I needed some peace, and I was trying to find it in the arms of somebody, some people that I probably shouldn't have found it in. Because I really didn't find it in there in the end, and it just turned out just broke hearts and relationships and a bunch of other shit. So, um, but for the most part, I've let certain things go. I've let Libras go. I mean, Libras seem okay and all. They seem genuine in some cases, but in some cases, I think it's going to come back to haunt them because I had the most purest and genuine intentions to really, really fix, certain relationships and really fix certain things between us and really have a connection with certain people and really try to heal wounds or old wounds or heal from certain things and try to find healing in certain things. And all it really has really brought me was pain and kind of a lack of self-love that needed to be changed so I could actually love myself better. Which the only thing I really could really do that was honoring myself as a white person. And how do you honor yourself as a white person? Doing things that a white person would do. Doing things that would honor yourself as a white person compared to putting a black person before yourself. At the end of the day, you need to put yourself first. You need to do what you need to do for you and make sure you're set before you put anybody else before you. And that's something I've learned really dearly and really sincerely is that sometimes I'll put these people before me. They're like I used to put people before me when I used to in terms of like career support and etc. And I would support their support before me before I would get any type of support or any type of financial gain or something like that. And really that and the fact that I wasn't getting financial gain or any type of really too much support and etc. to begin with is really kind of a problem. So um, I really shouldn't have put my money out there, or put my money into all the poets and people that I did, and especially if I really truthfully deep down maybe should have came to terms a long time ago that it just didn't simply agree with me. It didn't simply agree with me, and etc. I've said it before. I've said it once. I thought the head of the Poetry Foundation, the National Beat Poetry Foundation. I thought her and her husband were more conservative. I thought they were more conservative, and I thought they were more conservatives. But I mean, some conservatives are still kind of for certain things, and certain connections and things. But I didn't agree with them business wise. I definitely didn't agree with them business wise. And then there was obviously some things with the past which could have been tied to a different Libra. There was a Libra from the past. That an artist Libra that got involved. From the past, and then there was another artist Libra that I was trying to build to have a connection with. Professionally and personally that I kind of wanted a relationship with. She was older. She was older. I mean, she is older. She just turned 50. She just turned 50 years old, and she's older. She's older, and you know, I was explaining to somebody today too that I really do like older women. I like older women. I like older. I like talking or hanging with older men because it's just like I feel like I'm an old soul. I feel like I'm an old soul. I feel like I'm a very genuine old soul type of person where I connect with people a lot older than me more than I do with people my age. That I connect with people older than me. I have friends older than me. I've like I've had I would like relationships older than me, but obviously a lot of the older women are chasing after men at ten times their age. So the only people that really would want, a relationship possibly would be an older man wanting an older man, from the gay community. But um, older women don't really seem to go for guys, half their age too much or etc. Depending on the situation. So, um, but I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about why I should have let go. I should have let go certain things sooner. And the fact that I've kind of let certain things go, I think doors and things are kind of opening up, or just the different opportunities and things this holiday season where I'm kind of having some blessings, and I'm having a good holiday. I didn't go out too much for Thanksgiving. I kind of stayed home. I slept most of the time, or I cooked at home, or I had gotten food delivered. But I mean, I didn't go out for too much for Thanksgiving. I kind of stayed home and just rested and relaxed, and stuff like that. Um, but I haven't really done much for Thanksgiving. I'm probably gonna do the same thing for Christmas. Christmas, I'm probably gonna cook a roast or something. I'm probably gonna sit here, and just chill. But um, there really isn't much going on. There really isn't much going on. There isn't much going happening at this point. It's the holiday season, and I'm just getting through the holiday season at this point, finishing up projects. And as many people don't know or do know, I'm donating a handful of my artwork. I had over 200 paintings in here. I have over 200 paintings in here. I had 200 paintings in here, over 200. And I've been donating some of what I have to like charity, or to different organizations and things, or different local businesses throughout town, and etc. I'm donating certain pieces and certain things to different places and people and things, so they can be loved, respected, and valued by different people, and different people in the community. Besides just sitting here in my apartment waiting for an opportunity to show them or be displayed, or etc. I decided I would take half my work and just donate it, and keep a small half for myself in case I have a showing, or I need artwork for something or something like that to be shown, or to be displayed, or for a project or something, artistic project. But am I painting as much anymore? I'm not painting as much anymore. I would like to go back to drawing, but I'm not painting as much anymore. I mean, it just takes a lot of work, and making a lot of space and stuff to be able to do that. And I'm getting older, and I can't bend as well as I used to and stuff. So, um, I mean, it takes a lot of bending. It takes a lot of moving around, and um, because there's really no way. There's no really no possible way to really paint and or just do what I need to do to create art in the way that I would like to do it. Um, so that's just not happening. But hmm. Yeah, I've learned that I should have spoke up my mind a long time ago. I should have spoke my mind a long time ago, and I should have spoke my mind, and said my piece, and and really just came out as, I mean, I want to say just a Trump supporter, but somebody who just did not agree with the DEY, or DEI, or DEY, or whatever the fuck it's called. The dialectical occlusion, or whatever the fuck it's called. The critical race theory stuff and stuff, whatever that stuff falls under. I'm not even sure what it's called. I really don't even care. I just think it needs to be out of our schools and out of our system. Because it really is not doing any good to ourselves and society. Um, but um, that's the other thing too, is that my conservative people that I follow now, the conservative people that I follow for inspiration and look up to, that are these public figures, and these really prominent public figures and things. A lot of them are talking about going home for the holidays, or liberals throwing tantrums and stuff. And I was a liberal at one point in time, against my mother's conservatism, and we had arguments over me being part of the LGBT community, because my mother and I did not agree about me being LGBT, and there was a lot of talk about Jesus and God and Christ over the holiday season, and it was like overkill on the religious factors with my mother, that I didn't really want to go home and stuff like that, which I kind of regret later on. I mean, I regret later on. I mean, because obviously Amala Epinobi was one of the people that I follow. She was one of the people that I follow on social media, and she even said that you as you get older, you realize that you want to be around the certain people that you love, or the family members that you love, because time is short. Time is short, and memories are short, and you want to be around your family, and your family members, or people that you love, because time is short, and life is just too short to be, to be arguing, and there's just memories to be made, valued memories and things to be made that, um, especially for the holiday season, if you could put your differences aside, that are, would be really good. And the funny thing about that is that, my friend Greg was more conservative than I was before I was even conservative. My friend Greg was conservative, and my mother was conservative. My mother voted for Trump, 4 years ago, before, the first election. She voted for Trump, and I wasn't a Trump supporter, so I didn't vote for Trump. But I think my views kind of changed over the like 4 years, and then I kind of decided that we definitely need Trump back in the White House, so we definitely need a more conservative view. And I think that's when my political views kind of changed or shifted, with everything personally that I was going through, and then politically with like, watching things on the society front with America and stuff, that I think my views kind of shifted. And I think I kind of decided I was going to come out as more conservative, or more independently conservative based, to be more conservative after trying to support the liberals and trying to be part of the liberals for 5-6 years, and supporting local and doing all this jazz as a local artist, and trying to get involved with the liberals and stuff, and not being treated right or respectfully because of my skin color, and people seeing color, and people making a big issue out of color, and all this other stuff, that um I kind of changed my views probably like 4 or 5 months ago, before the holidays, 4 or 5 months before the holidays. I had changed my views right a couple months before election time. I had changed my views, and had changed my thoughts on politically. But I wasn't always conservative. I was open to more liberal practices, and I was learning more about the liberals. But then I realized the liberals weren't for me. The liberals weren't for me, and etc. But I do have sympathy for the liberals, and I do believe liberals. Not every liberal person is gonna be, intolerant. Hopefully, I think people are going to realize that they can change, or they might be on the wrong side, and they can maybe come to the more conservative side, or come to more basis that conservatives are not all bad, or not all bad people, because we're not. Some of us are very genuine and very sincere about, our beliefs and stuff like that. But um like Amala Panobi seems like a sweetheart. Amala Panobi seems like an absolute sweetheart. She was obviously once, very much a liberal, or very much, democratic, and she obviously changed, her views at one point from, liberal to democratic to, like, conservative, like, more conservative and more Republican. So Amala Panobi seems like a total sweetheart and stuff like that. And um I mean, she tries to be benefit. She tries to give people benefit of the doubt and not judge. I mean, she was once in the liberal shoes, and once had to go through her liberal upbringings and stuff too, to really kind of find out things, and know better. And that's kind of how I feel. That's kind of how I feel too. Is I kind of had to learn the hard way, and I kind of had to put myself through all this stuff, that some of it was unnecessary, but I mean, everything happens for a reason, so I guess it was necessary, to have to go through it, because everything is, ordained by God, and in God's footsteps. We follow the path, and God tries to lead us to where we need to go. And sometimes we struggle with that, and we like to go our own way. But God tries to redirect us and put us back on the path we're supposed to be on. And I think that's kind of what happened with me, is I kind of skirted off a path that I was supposed to be on, and etc. And then a path with my life, and like my upbringing, or what I was supposed to be doing in life with my calling. And I think a lot of it got kind of interacted with when I started getting involved with, the people with the critical race theory, and then, all the drama with that, and all the drama with different things that, even before that, there was drama with local business. There was local, not even local business, but there was drama with, like, the locals in town, and local people, and people like that there were obviously some issues. And It wasn't my drama. It was nothing. It was not my drama. It was not something I needed to be put involved in. But yet people put me in it because they wanted to say I looked like somebody, or they wanted to say, "Oh, you look like somebody," or "We feel like you look like this person, and we don't feel all right with you," or etc. Which they have a right to say that, as long as they don't come like crashing and like trying to threaten me or nothing. But I mean, people have a right to say how they feel. If they don't feel proper with me, they don't have to feel proper with me. And because everything happens for a reason. I mean, I'm trying to be sincere. I'm trying to put my best foot out there and be really sincere and really, honest with people. But honestly, I guess the honesty was on hold or just delayed on the situation of me and my liberalism versus conservatism. So, I mean, I am conservative. I am conservative now. I've been conservative for like the last couple of months since before the election. So, I am conservative. I am part of the Trump supporters. I mean, some liberals are throwing fits about it. Some liberals are even threatening me about it. But what are we supposed to do? I mean, obviously, it's funny too because some of these liberals, that were throwing fits and stuff about it too. I was top fans. I was a top fan of some of their of some of their pages. I was a top fan, and I was somebody who was obviously was following them, as a top fan on their page. And, I'm still getting threatened. I'm still getting told that, I don't belong, right? I don't belong on your page. I never belonged on your page, and get the fuck away. So, I don't know. But I've learned a lot. I'm learning a lot, and I'm hoping that the next year is going to give me an even fresher start because I kind of made some changes late in this year. Like within the last 5 months or so, I started making these changes, especially towards conservatism and different things like that, and different situations and things, and um, I started making these changes and these different things, and um I'm still adjusting to a whole new life that I'm gonna hopefully have, or a whole new situation of a life that I'm hoping to have with a different outlook, a different point of view, and a different scenario and things that is not where I kind of was in the last 5-6 years before that. That it's gonna be a whole new ball game where I've had to let people go. I mean, I've had to let so many people go, and because so many people were attached to these two people or these different situations and things that I kind of had to kind of cut my ties and kind of find healing and personal growth and different things where I kind of just had to let people go, and I had to say enough's enough. I can't do this anymore, which I can't. I can't do it anymore for my own benefit, my own mental health, my own safety, my own sanity. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I just can't. I mean, it's amazing that I'm actually in politics now, because it's like at one point I was told maybe I shouldn't be in politics. Maybe I should let politics, go on a back burner and stuff like that. Because it was a time I was so, triggered by the conservatives and stuff. But come to find out, I think it was more the liberals that were more, triggering to me, because the liberals were putting all these stipulations and different, warning, taboo warning signs on my life, and trying to say, oh, you can't do this, or you shouldn't do this and that. And I just felt very, very toxic about the liberals. I'm feeling very good right so far about the Republicans. I'm not going to lie about it. I feel very good so far about the Republicans. I feel like they're going to get a lot done, where obviously we weren't able to get a lot done in this last several years when we had the Democrats, the liberals, and the liberals in office. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that, and looking forward to Christmas. Looking forward to my birthday next Friday. Next Friday the 6th. Next Friday, December 6th, is my 36th birthday. So 36th birthday on the 6th. That's gonna be my 36th. So um and then we're gonna go into Christmas. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to different things. I'm very excited, and we'll see how things play out. So anyways, peace.